Up next, we'll take a look at some of the races that are tightening in the home stretch. And can you really believe the polls? Well, this time tomorrow, the polls will be open for the midterm elections. Will the blue wave bring a tsunami of Democrats to office, or will President Trump's endorsed candidates prove victorious? Today, the president holds his last rallies, and there are 3 of them today in Ohio, Indiana, and Missouri. And joining us now for a last look at the polls, Cliff Young, president of Ipsos Public Affairs, who's Ipsos working closely with UVA this election cycle to come up with their political atlas. And Cliff is also an adjunct professor at Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. Good to see you, Cliff.
It's great to be back.
All right, so let's bring up the first map right now, because I want to talk about the House races across the country. First of all, what do you see in general as far as what we're looking for when it comes to the House?
Oh, very, very competitive. We're talking a few points here, a few points there. Could swing the election one way or another. But really, it most probably will be a Democratic year. Off-term elections, midterm elections, the party out of power, that's Democrats, gain on average 33 seats. We think that they'll outperform the average, they'll underperform, they'll be somewhere around the average. It will probably be a blue year.
We're definitely, as we see up here, we're definitely leaning blue. Now, the map might not show it that way because the red just jumps out at you. One of the things we're really keeping an eye on, though, is in Virginia, when it comes to the 10th district. What are we seeing here? It's very close.
It's very, very close. That's a Comstock district, Republican incumbent. This is one of 25 congressional districts that actually Hillary Clinton did better than Trump. These are these very sort of risky districts that the Republicans are worried about, the Democrats want to take. And I think actually if the Democrats take the 10th district, which there is a high likelihood that they might, that will really say a lot about the rest of the night.
I want to see, can we take the close-up on the 10th district? Here we go. This is some of the things that I wanted to look at right here when we bring up the differences here between the two. But this really shows a lot here for this district. 2012, 20 points for Republicans. 2014, 16. 2016, 6. I mean, this is getting a little bit smaller, but now you're saying this could go blue.
Yeah, this could go blue. As we can see, 2016, 10 points, double digits for Clinton. It's been trending blue. Suburbia across the United States has been trending blue as more educated, especially women, are trending towards Democrats, trending away from Republicans. Again, like I said, the 10th district in Virginia is one of 25 districts. Those really are those districts that Democrats have really focused on. And if it goes blue, it suggests that probably the Democrats will have a good night in the House.
All right, let's go to the Senate right now. We'll pull up the Senate map. You're not thinking that this is going to be enough of a change in the Senate to change power?
No, no. The map is difficult for the Democrats. Indeed, there are 35 seats up right now. The vast majority, almost 2/3 of them, more than 2/3 of them are Democratic in orientation. And it's difficult. It's difficult. Early in the night, I would pay attention to Florida.
Yeah, Florida's very close, right? I mean, the muted blue color means it's very close, but slightly leaning blue.
Yeah, exactly. So you have Nelson, the sitting incumbent. He's a Democrat against Scott, the former governor. It's very close. The poll is trending blue. The Democrats needed at least to keep their 49-seat Senate and not tilt it more towards the Republicans.
The one with the race with the most social media attention has to be down here in Texas, but you think that this is going to stay red?
Well, listen, we think that Beto against Cruz, Beto is going to reduce the difference in Texas, but Texas is still a red state. Texas is still Republican. We'll see what happens. Some of the polls are showing a serious narrowing. We'll see what actually happens specifically tomorrow, but it probably will stay red. 2
governors' races I want to touch on real quick. One in Florida, very close there. The other in Georgia, and that one is messy.
Yeah, but both very, very close according to polling. It looks like Gillum has an edge right now over DeSantis. DeSantis obviously is a Trumper, seriously supports Trump, uses the same sort of rhetoric. Gillum has gone after him specifically. The polls have trended blue. We'll see what happens specifically. Gillum really depends on that urban minority vote to come out en masse, and as well as Hispanics.
That's in Florida and Georgia, a toss-up right now?
It's a toss-up. It probably will go to a runoff. In Georgia, in the first round, you have to win 50+1. It doesn't look like that either Abrams or Kemp will get that. Messy race, but a very close one as well.
So the final thing, this is your livelihood doing the polling, but after 2016, a lot of people said, I'm not going to worry about the polls anymore. What do these pollsters know? Are we feeling pretty secure about our polls?
Well, listen, you never know. Anything could happen. But we get an idea for the trends. It looks like the House will go Democrat. It looks like the Senate will stay Republican. It looks like the Democrats will pick up gubernatorial or governorships in the state houses, et cetera. But we never know, and we have to be careful. The polling suggests that, as well as social media on the one hand and funding on the other.
High turnout, though, on both parties?
Both parties, especially so for Democrats, slightly less so for Republicans, but both bases are highly energized.
All right. Cliff Young, thanks for joining us. You have your vote.